basically where the chances of failure is higher, and a start is to earn money out of it. So if it's a startup with time, then it's already fine. So we have to make sure that that business, other than that, I don't think there is any other motive behind starting a particular business or a startup. Of course, we are solving a problem for a particular state or a country or a sector or a community, but you would not be able to sustain it if you are not making money out of it. So your customers have to be interested to pay. So for that, we primarily have 7 functions in any business or startup, starting with marketing. So marketing primarily includes product. What would be the product that we are offering to the customers? It could be a service or a product. Second, place. It basically means where are we going to sell our products or offer our products. Third is the pricing. Basically, what price we would be offering, what price we are going to spend to create that particular product or offer for the customers. And fourth would be promotion. Basically, how do we engage with audience? How do we engage with our potential customers? So these are primary 4 areas when we talk of marketing. The second fundamental function that comes is the sales. The whole purpose of implementing marketing is to generate sales. For sales, I want you to think in terms of exchange of value. So sales does not mean you are selling something to the customer irrespective of whether your customer needs it or not. Sales basically means you are going to solve a problem for your customer or make your customer feel happy in exchange for money. That's the whole idea. That is exchange of value. You are giving a sort of feel good factor to your customers, and you are generating revenue out of it, or you are solving a particular problem for your customers and you are generating revenue out of it. So that's what we call as sales, where the exchange of values happen. Next is the operations. This primarily includes all the processes, day-to-day systems and activities that we do in order for us to create value that we could exchange. In terms of next function, it's the accounts. As we are offering, as we are exchanging values, accounts basically records it, reports it, and analyzes how much have been spent, how much have been, taken in as a gross profit, as a net profit, all those things. Next comes the legal part of a business, where we talk about the regulations, we talk about the laws, all the registrations that are required, all the compliances that needs to be in place. Sixth comes the HR. It's a thing that we generally look after a certain stage has been crossed in a business. Before that, the founder or the owner seems to manage the HR part itself, basically managing of people. And number 7th function is the management. Now, when getting started, management primarily is you, the person who is actually managing all these functions. But with time, you need people to manage all these functions. Else, it becomes a messy business, basically. So you don't know what you are doing. You are just spending time and spending money and not even calculating what's the profit or the loss. So these are the 7 fundamental functions of business or any idea. I want all of you guys to carry out an activity which is called the golden circle. I'll just sort of draw it here for quick understanding. So the first circle that is built is why you are doing it. If anybody have heard of it, the 3 golden circles, that's a very sort of strong framework that I use in my daily life to actually narrow things down. Whether I should do this task or not, whether I should work on this project or not, whether I should attend this event or not. Question: why are we actually doing it? What's the purpose behind it? Uh, is it for money making purposes, that we want revenue, we want better lifestyle, that's why we are doing it? Or we want to create solve, or we have seen an opportunity and we feel excited, okay, let's try this out. I'm just because of exploration purpose, that is also fine. But understanding why we are doing it will give you more clarity than directly jumping into what you want to do. So when you are planning around a startup, when you are thinking around what you are planning to, thinking around implementing a startup, be it in your college days or be after your college, whichever time you choose, getting a clarity around why you are doing it will give you a clear direction on what you should do, what you should not do. Next comes what are you planning to do, how you are planning to do. First is the why. Second is how you are planning to do. Are you planning to do it with with certain people? Are you planning to do it in a certain manner? How do you want to actually do it? That becomes the second circle. The third circle becomes, what do you want to do? So you could start either ways. You could start with the what, move into how you want to do it, and then into why you want to do it. Or you could start with why do you want to do it, move into how do you want to do it, and then move into what basically you are planning to do. The idea behind this activity is to get clarity around why we are doing what we are doing, are we planning to do it, and what are we going to do in order to achieve that. So the whole purpose of this golden circle is to give a clarity around your idea, your vision, and to keep you in track. Because the moment we start working on a particular project, we start becoming very, aggressive in nature, very sort of desperate behind one particular thing, that we forget almost everything. That sort of craziness comes into play. So that is where this particular, having this in mind, would actually give you direction on where you are heading. So a journey without a direction is basically you are going nowhere. So this is an activity that has helped me in sort of doing, taking up projects, leaving projects, taking up particular areas, leaving particular areas. So initially 4-5 years I never took any session. I never went to any event that where people invited me for talk or anything. But idea was to build up Bambooala as fast as possible. So that has kept me given me a clear direction on what to do, what not to do. So this is something that I guess would give you guys an understanding of your thoughts. Moving forward, as we have already understood कि functions क्या है generally एक business या एक startup में, I want to start with, I want to now move into today's particular topic as before I move forward, I just wanted to know how many people here are aware of Startup Tripura. You could just unmute and let me know. How many people are aware of Startup Tripura? Anyone? Anyone aware of Startup Tripura or NGIN program?
Actually, most of them know about it because we are also a part of NGIN, and there are students in this meeting also who are working with NGIN related projects.
So as we are talking about the lean business ideas, so we use a particular framework called lean canvas model for setting up an idea or a startup, focusing on focused with using as less resources as possible. So the whole idea of lean startup is to set up a business or set up a startup with as little resources as possible. So when we talk of lean startups, we primarily focus on getting our idea in one page called the lean canvas model. This particular model will give you a clarity on what you are trying to solve, how you are solving it, for whom you are solving it, what are you offering, what's your customer segment, what's your revenue, what's your cost structure segment, cost structures, all those things in one particular page. So whenever we generally ask people to explain their idea or startup, they give a complete Ramayana and Mahabharata of what they are doing. It's not about giving the story, it's about getting it as comprised as possible. In 2 3 lines we should be able to explain what we primarily do with our idea or with our startup. So this lean canvas model, I hope the screen is visible clearly and the framework is also visible clearly. You could simply do a Google search and get this model. It's called a lean canvas, and the other is business model canvas. So one is LCM and other is BCM. So BMC. So we would start with lean canvas. I'll also show you a quick overview of what the business model canvas looks like. So in lean canvas, we basically start with a problem that we have identified and we are planning to implement a solution around it. It could be a local problem, it could be a regional problem, it could be a national problem, it could be an international problem. Whatever the scale of problem is, it's a secondary thing. But primarily, we identify one, two, or three problems around which we are planning to solve. We are planning to set up a startup. That is step one of getting started with startups. I'm not talking about business, I'm talking about startups. Getting started with startups, it starts with a problem that the startup is planning to solve. Next comes the solution, where the founder or the founders team or the group of founders basically think around, ideate around what are the possible solutions for those particular set of problems. So the problems have to be very specific. Based on that, what could be the solutions? So you brainstorm around 2 to 3 solutions, and based on your experiences, your understanding, or your market research that you do during finding out of a solution, you sort of stick to one particular solution. Ki will implement this particular thing first and see. Now, based on what we are planning to implement, we are going to focus on the key metrics, as in how would I judge if this solution is working or not. So there has to be one or two particular objective metrics that we could track to see whether the solution is working or not. In case of Bamboo Wala, the problem was very simple. There were two problems. Number one, the artisans of Tripura were not getting paid enough for their craftsmanship, and number two, availability of eco-friendly product in metro cities was scarce, as in it was not that much available. In metro cities, it was not available that much through malls or shops as well. Neither it was available online. So these are the two problems that we were sort of addressing. The solution was very simple: set up a supply chain that caters to these areas. It's as simple as that. It could be online, offline, whatever it is, but set up a supply chain. The metrics, simple metrics, it was my revenue and my gross profit, whether I was making money by selling this or not. And number two, whether the revenue was increasing or not. It's as simple as that. Then comes the unique value proposition, as in why should anyone buy from you? So generally, unique value proposition is a very clear one or two line, offering that you say to your customers or your potential customers that attracts them. So it's not just about buy bamboo from Bamboo Wala because it's an eco-friendly product. Does not make sense. Everyone knows bamboo is an eco-friendly product. So what's unique about Bamboo Wala? So basically, with Bamboo Wala, we are offering making the bamboo products or the eco-friendly products accessible, affordable, and available. These are the three USPs that we have been working with. First, accessibility. You could access it online, offline. We have retailers, we have online options as well. It's affordable. Just because it's a premium product or a scarce product does not mean we are charging 10x, 15x, 20x. It's affordable and it's available. So the issue with eco-friendly product is the raw material, but it has never been an issue with bamboo at all, especially from Tripura. So we were working with accessibility, availability, and affordability of bamboo products across metro cities and tier one cities. The unfair advantage is basically some strength of your startup that others would find very difficult to copy or very difficult to get it done. So in case of Bambuwala, it was Tripura itself, because even if someone sitting in Bangalore wants to start a bamboo business, he or she cannot. With even with 1 crore rupee, you cannot set up a bamboo business in Bangalore. 1 2 crore also you cannot, because the raw material is not available. So the unfair advantage was, number one, Tripura has this resource since time immemorial, and number two, the artisan base of Tripura. So I'm just giving you an example. When you are setting up a startup, think about the unfair advantages that you would have uh, alongside the unique value or the USPs that you are going to offer to the customers. Next is the segment called channels, where we list out how are we going to reach out to customers. What are our ways of communication? Whether it's online, if it's online, then what are the channels? Whether it's offline, if offline, then how? Through distributors, through retailers, through retail shops, through our own brand shops. How are we going to reach out to customers? And next is the customer segments. It's a very important area to note that when you are starting, you cannot cater to all the customers. It's not possible. You cannot cater to India as a whole. You have to know which segment you are catering to, especially in terms of demography and geography. As in, which areas of India are you going to provide solution to, or which areas of your target market are you going to provide solutions to? And number two, how does your customer look? So it's a different session in altogether about customer personas. But primarily, we talk about how the customer segment, how the customer persona looks. So we generally tend to identify customers like this: ki someone who is a software engineer, lives in Agartala, does freelancing, earns about 40 to 50,000 a month, has a sibling. So all those things, has a pet. So all those things we note down and create a persona for whom we are actually solving a problem. So for, let's say, for Zoho is a software company. For Zoho, the customers are MSMEs of Tripura, the small and medium businesses of Tripura, so the small and medium business of India. So the primary segment in India for Zoho is the small and medium businesses of India. So they have catered to that particular segment. They are not implementing for very big companies. So there is SAP ERP for very big companies. Small companies cannot implement that. So that's how you segregate where you are going to place your offer. Next comes the cost structure, as in, if you are setting up a particular idea, implementing a particular idea, what are the costs associated with it? So if you are setting up a software related idea, there would be costs of software engineers, there would be cost of servers, there would be cost of certain softwares or hardwares that you would use. So all those cost structure needs to be calculated even before getting started. Next is the revenue stream, where we talk about how this whole project is going to get funded. Who are basically spending on this, the customer segment, and how much are they going to spend? So revenue streams could be many. For example, in Bambuwala, the first revenue stream is Amazon. The second revenue stream is through our retailers, and distributors. So all those areas come into revenue stream. So basically, this is how we plan around implementing a lean business model means the idea is half cooked. It needs to be more prepared in some sense. Next, I'll just give a quick idea about business model canvas. It's almost the same, but as I said, business is not about solving a problem with a solution, with an innovative idea. Nothing like that. Business simply means you are implementing a process to make money out of it. So when we talk of business model canvas, we start with who are our suppliers or key partners. Then we move into what are the primary activities that our business needs to do. Then we move into what are the primary resources that our business needs to have. Then we move into value proposition. Then we move into what are the channels through which our products are going to get delivered to the customer segment. Then we move into customer relationship, as in how are we going to create a bond between us and the customers. Then we move into the customer segment, as in whom are we targeting, and the cost and revenue stream segments remain the same. So basically, the starting part, the blue part that you see, is different. When we are talking about startups, we are talking about problem, solution, unfair advantage, all those things. When we are talking about business, we are focusing on who are our partners, would be what would be the key activities, what would be the resources that we would need in order to run this business profitably. So this is, I guess, a good idea. I have been able to share a good idea about how to get started around it. And do go through the Startup Tripura policy. It is available on the Startup Tripura website, and there you would see there you would learn about various funds that could be used to set up your idea. You do not need to invest your own money or wait for someone else's money. You could easily take funds from Startup Tripura even before registering. As a college student, as a college project, you would take and try building around it. Available, and in fact, India is one of the countries where you would find so many schemes available for startups and businesses. So maybe some other day we would talk about that. And I now hand over the the mic to the organizers to basically coordinate with students if they have any questions or if they want a particular query solved. And I now hand over the mic to the organizers to basically coordinate with students if they have any questions or if they want a particular query solved.
Sir, there's a question from Prashant Devnath. He asks that how to define the price of your product so that it can be affordable but also profitable for the company. And how
So I
many
see
years?
there is a question from Mr. Prashant Devnath, and he's asking a very yeah. So I have actually switched to the mobile version right now. The reason is due to Durga Puja, there is no electricity in this area for today. I hope I'm audible. I'll take the Prashant's question right now. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Could just anyone give me a confirmation that I'm audible?
Yes, sir, you're
Yes,
audible.
sir, you are audible. Sir, yes. Fine. So Prashant asked, I'll just check the messaging and yeah, how to define the price of your product so that it can be affordable but also profitable for the company, and how many years will be required to make the startup profitable? Well, the startup profitability depends on the founder. If you want to carry out, projects after projects, and you are not bothered about whether it's a profitable project or not, whether because you are getting funds from somewhere, then you could delay the profitability by 10-15 years. It's not about that. So there are many startups that has made profit after 10 years, 9 years. In fact, till date, Oyo makes no profit. So we all know about the founder Ritesh Agarwal, who is the founder of Oyo. But till date, Oyo makes negligible profit compared to their revenue. So it's not about uh, how many years does it take. It depends on the founder whether you want to take the project after project and wait for some time before the revenue hits in or the profit hits in. So it's like that. And but I think at the end of the day, the idea is to generate profit. So as early as possible, start generating profits, maybe less, but start generating profits. And also it's a good parameter to raise funds. There could be founders who are doing very good but they see no profits at all. So there, the VCs or investors become a bit skeptical कि अगर इतना अच्छा product है, इतना अच्छा offering है, तो profit क्यों नहीं है? This is one thing. And second, what about the pricing? So there are various sort of pricings that can be done. The most common the two most common pricing uh, formulas are: number one is the cost pricing, as in if you are starting a let's say for bamboo wala, it's a cost plus pricing, as in if I am getting a product manufactured or crafted in 100 rupees, I look at the market of Maharashtra and see what is the purchasing capacity there. Can this product be sold at 200, 250, 300? At what price? And then sort of launch it there at that particular price and look at the reaction of the customers. Based on that, we then revise the price. So this is cost plus pricing, as in you have a cost, you are adding margins to it and selling it on the market. This is one way of doing it. This is the most common way of doing it when it comes to physical products. Next, the second most common way is competitive pricing, as in you are developing something and you look around your competitors and see at what price they are offering their value. So based on that, you are pricing your product. And if you do not see any competition around you, you are not looking deep enough. So it is next to impossible to set up a company or a idea or a startup and have no competition at all. It's next to impossible. You have to have a competition. When AI craze was getting started, all the companies said, most of the companies said they do not have a competitor. But Google has been their competitor for many years. So you have to identify your competitors and price around them if you are going for competitive pricing. Other than that, there are various ways of pricing. As in, there's a way called skewing pricing, where you start with launch a product at higher price and then keep reducing its price, just like mobile phones, laptops, and all those things, electronic items. Then there is a pricing strategy called penetration pricing, which was used recently by Geo, where they sold their Geo SIM, for unbelievable pricing, and now they are increasing their recharge plans and everything. So this is penetration pricing. Similarly, you could see a water company called Independence in your region. Right now, it's very highly distributed in Agartala. Independence. It's again a Reliance company product. So they are entering the market with 10 rupee 750 ml bottle, but others are giving 10 rupee 500 ml bottle. So they are again implementing this penetration pricing strategy. So there are various strategies. These are four most commonly used pricing strategy. Then you could also find dynamic pricing, as in the air ticket prices. It depends on how much demand you have. Based on that, you are generating the price. So it depends on that as well. So the pricing structure depends on what your product is, how do you want to implement it, and which pricing method suits your product. So if you talk about Starbucks, if they increase and decrease their price every single day based on how many orders they are getting, nobody is going to enter into that particular shop again. So it has to have a fixed pricing. So they go for cost plus pricing. So that is how you select, define the price of your product. And of course, when you are defining the price of your product, you look into the back end whether this pricing is a sustainable pricing or not. When Geo offered the Geo SIMs, it was too good to be true pricing. It was very clear that it's a penetration pricing. They cannot sustain a business with this pricing in this mobile communication industry. So that's how that, and then they moved into increasing their recharge plans, and then Geo phone, and then all those things. So at the back end, you calculate whether whichever strategy you are implementing for pricing, whether it's sustainably profitable or not. Being profitable in day one does not mean you will be profitable in day 10 as well. So whether it's sustainably profitable or not. So I hope, Prashant, I have answered your question. Awesome. Any more question that you would like me to answer? Anything about startup schemes or anything like that? And just for your sort of exposure, there's a lot of scope in agri startups in Tripura. The potential of Tripura's land is underutilized. So if you are planning around, some startup idea, do look into the agricultural sector of Tripura. It's highly underutilized. So that's a recent understanding that I've got about the startup area. And generally, what we see is when we talk of startups, it's a very hyped and exciting. It seems very exciting, but ultimately it becomes boring when you start doing it. So when you are starting, it's nice to get excited and start, but you have to be ready to actually do the boring tasks, because that's the foundation of every business that I've seen. The boring tasks that we avoid doing. So this is something that I have gained from my experience. I could say that at certain times it gets boring, and that's when the company is getting built.
So, if
Sir,
anyone has any question from among the students, you can unmute your mic and ask the question to our resource person. And I must say that it was a wonderful session. We got to had too many informations on lean startup and also on MVP. Thank you so much for responding to our request. And again, I'm asking the students if you have any question regarding if you have any plan on opening up a startup or getting into business, you can unmute your mic and you can ask your question here.
Hello, sir. I think, sir, Startup Tripura is giving us like chance to think about business and new ideas. Uh, Thank you for this wonderful webinar.
Sure. It has been my pleasure sharing my understanding with you people, and I
Yes, sir.
actually want to see more people come into this space because it's vacant right now. There are only limited handful of people working in the startup ecosystem in Tripura. So please do come up with ideas, brainstorm around various ideas that you think. And yeah, if there's any help that I could do, you could connect with your organizers and accordingly connect with me to
Yes, sir.
proceed further.
With this, we
With
have
this,
come
we
to an
have
end
come to an end
of today's
of
session.
today's session.
Thank you so much,
Thank you
sir,
so
for
much,
this
sir, for this
wonderful session.
wonderful session.
We are very
We are
grateful to
very
you
grateful to
for
you
managing
for
time
managing
for
time for
a busy
a
schedule
busy
and
schedule and
enlightening us
enlighten
about
us
lean
about
startup,
lean startup,
from
from
inspiring us from
inspiring
your
us from
journey
your journey
to
to
explaining us about
explaining
the
us
seven
about the seven
fundamental functions
fundamental
of
functions
business.
of business.
I'm sure
I'm
that there are
sure
many
that there are many
students who are
students
really
who are
inspired
really
after
inspired
attending
after
this
attending
session.
this session.
So, once
So
again,
once
thank you
again,
so much,
thank you
sir,
so much, sir,
for this
for this information.
informative session, and everyone for attending today's online session. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you. Bye, everyone. See you someday somewhere.
Thank you, sir.